Have you ever watched someone else get the reward or leadership role you really wanted while you got passed over? Have you ever put on a fake smile even though you were really upset inside? Have you ever asked yourself, why do they get all the good stuff? What about me? What about me? If you've ever felt this way, you're definitely not alone. One of the toughest battles you'll ever fight isn't with another person, it isn't with an opponent, or not even an enemy. It's with comparison. If so, you're not alone, because one of the greatest battles you'll ever fight isn't with another person, it's with comparison. And today, we're going to meet a king who lost everything because he couldn't stop looking sideways. Hey family, my name is Tony Lewis, and it's my pleasing pleasure as usual to spend a few minutes with us. For the overlooked, for the discouraged, for everyone who's ever compared themselves to someone else. Let's learn together, because today's lesson could protect your purpose. If these moments are helping you grow, please like, subscribe, comment, and share it with someone who's been trapped by comparison. Thank you, family, for all your support. I really, really appreciate it. Now let's meet another person who lost their way by looking sideways. Saul, when comparison becomes a cage. When comparison becomes a cage, let me tell you his story. It's found in 1 Samuel chapter 18. Saul had everything. He was Israel's first king, chosen by God, anointed by the prophet Samuel, y'all, respected by the people, victorious in battle. But then David showed up after defeating a dude named Goliath, who was over 9 feet tall. What? The women began singing, Saul has killed his thousands, and David his 10,000. Those words changed everything. The Bible says Saul became Superman, not Superman, Superman. Why? Because comparison had entered his heart. Instead of thanking God for sending David, Saul started competing with David. Saul didn't lose his kingdom because David was stronger. He lost it because jealousy became stronger than gratitude. Who am I talking to? Let me tell you how he struggled with comparison and what we can learn from that. Comparison changed his focus. Saul stopped looking at God and started looking at David. Then when our eyes leave God, they usually land on someone else's blessing. We can learn we never enjoy our own race if we are always watching somebody else's lane. Comparison created jealousy. Saul wasn't inspired. He became insecure. Jealousy whispers, if they win, I lose. But God's kingdom doesn't work that way. Someone else's blessing doesn't cancel yours. Comparison corrupted his character. Saul moved from admiration to anger, to fear, to attempted murder. One unhealthy comparison grew into destructive choices. Comparison always starts in the head and moves to the heart. Then it shows up in your hands. Comparison cost his calling. David never tried to take Saul's throne. Saul lost it because of his own disobedience and jealousy. That's the tragedy. Saul wasn't defeated by David. He was defeated by himself. Powerful statement. Many people lose opportunities not because of someone else was better, but because of bitterness. Made them blind. But what is the big lesson? What is the big lesson? You cannot celebrate God's plan for you while secretly competing with God's plan for someone else. You cannot celebrate God's plan for you while secretly competing with God's plan for someone else. When we struggle like Saul, we can learn when someone else succeeds. Celebrate them, just celebrate them. When someone else succeeds, pray for them. When someone else succeeds, learn from them. Don't compete with them. Remember, God didn't create you to copy someone else's calling. He created you to complete your own. God has never asked you to be a David. He only asked you and I to be faithful to what our assignment is. So when you succeed, stay humble. Never make someone else feel small so you can feel big. Remember where your blessings came from. The quickest way that we can lose God's favor is to believe his blessing came from our greatness instead of his grace. 4 truths to hold on to, y'all. Comparison steals your peace. Comparison shifts your perspective. Comparison sabotages your purpose. But contentment strengthens your calling. Your calling grows when your eyes stay on Christ, not on competition. Family. God intended you to be someone else. The oak tree doesn't compete with the cedar. The sunflower doesn't compete with the rose. Each one grows best when God planted it. Stop looking sideways and start looking upward. Because when your eyes stay on Jesus, you'll never have to chase someone else's purpose. But remember the big lesson. You cannot celebrate God's plan for you while secretly competing with God's plan for someone else. Keep your eyes on Jesus and keep growing where God planted you, because your purpose is too precious to lose to comparison. See you next week for the next a few minutes for us, for the 3rd episode of Looking Sideways Can Make You Lose Your Way. In this series, The Cost of Comparison. To God be the glory. I'm out, y'all.